Hello children, I'm your science teacher Tilak, and I would like to suggest you to subscribe my channel so that you get the notification at the earliest and you continue with your topics. So children, let's start today's chapter number 5, separation of substances. Today we are going to revise some topics from chapter number 5, and we will also understand why separation of substances is necessary and what are the different types of substances that we need to separate. We will also learn different methods used for separation of substances from solid, from another solid, insoluble solid from the liquid. We will also learn how to separate soluble solid from liquids, miscible liquids like lemon juice in the water, and immiscible liquid like mixture of liquid such as water and oil. So children, let's understand why we need to separate substances which are the component of the mixture or constituent material of the mixture. We need to remove undesirable substances or constituent material which is harmful or not required. And secondly, we need to obtain certain useful constituent material from the mixture or the substance. And thirdly, we need to extract pure substance because there are very few pure substances which are present in nature. So children, can you think of any pure substance? Because substances around us are either pure or in mixture form. The mixture needs to be separated to get useful substances or remove harmful substances from it. Like tap water is the mixture of various minerals and water, same as sea water is the mixture of various types of salts dissolved in it, and air is the mixture of various type of gases. Maybe you know the names of all the gases present in it. And milk, what does it contain? Yes, it contains water, cream, and other materials. Now, what is mixture? Mixture is the combination of two or more substances which are physically combined. As they are not chemically combined, so they can be easily extracted or separated from each other by using simple physical methods. Now, you will see that we extract metals and non-metals from the rocky minerals, like we call them ores, and sandwich is the mixture of bread, meat, butter, tomato, similarly soda water, lemon juice, right? We can separate substances based on various characteristics such as size of impurities, size of the main substance, and the state of impurities like solid, liquid, or gas. And we also focus on method of separation and its cost. We are separating the solid from the mixture of other solid. We consider the properties such as color, shape, size, and its solubility in the liquid. Now children, let us study about various methods of separating substances from its mixture. There are so many methods which you are already familiar with, right? We are already using it in our daily life, and we use to get the useful substances and remove harmful substances. And one of the very familiar one is hand picking. It is one of the simplest and primitive method which is used to extract substances depending upon shape, size, color, wanted or unwanted, useful or harmful, such as pebbles, broken grains. Insects are separated from rice, wheat, and pulses with the help of hand picking. But for this, the particles should be large enough to be seen by naked eyes. Now, another method which is very popular amongst the farmer is threshing. In this, bundles of dried stalk of crops are beaten on the hard surface, and this helps to separate grains from the ripened and dried stalks of crops. And it can be done manually or by the using large machines. You can see the picture of threshing. Right? Now another method is winnowing. Winnowing is one of the agricultural method developed in ancient culture, which is used to separate grain from chaff. It is used to remove other pests also. In this, air currents are used to separate heavy and lighter particles. Lighter particles will move away and heavy particles will settle down nearby in two different heaps. In this way, the two types of particles are separated and stored easily by farmers using this simple method of separation. Now, depending upon the size of the particles, sieves can be used to separate two different types of mixtures or more substances which are mixed together. If they are of different size, they can be passed through the sieve and they are collected as different heaps. Similarly, insoluble solid particles in a liquid can also be separated. Suppose tea leaves and coffee beans are separated using filtration process. In this filtration process, a filter or a thin membrane or layer can be used to separate substance by passing the liquid or the mixture of the liquid and the substance through it. These larger particles are blocked and separated above this filter paper, and the liquid moves down below. As you can see here in the picture, this colored particle liquid, suppose the chalk powder is mixed in it, so the chalk powder will be collected above the filter paper and the water will move down. You can see how filter paper is folded and funnels and beakers and stand is used to filter the mixture of substances using filter paper, and filtration process is also used for separating tea leaves from the tea. Right? This is very common, you see daily in your daily life. Now let's discuss about sedimentation and decantation. Insoluble substances which are heavier than water can be separated by this method. Sedimentation is the process in which heavier particles are allowed to settle down at the bottom, and decantation is the process when the water is poured into another container without disturbing the sediment. So this is the method used to separate undissolved salt. Now this is the setup of distillation process. Distillation is a method of obtaining pure liquid from a solution. Distilled water is obtained by this method, and as the water in the flask is heated, it evaporates and passes through the condenser, and it cools down and comes down as droplet of distilled water, and it is collected in the another conical flask as it is shown in the figure. So the mixture is separated by heating the solution and condensing using a cooling tube. Now distillation is now the process which is used to separate two miscible liquids having different boiling points. When the first liquid starts to boil, it evaporates and reaches to condenser and gets separated. Now let us see what is the method of separating immiscible liquid. In this, an apparatus is used which is known as separating funnel. According to the density, the different liquid will be collected as different layer inside the separating funnel. If we take two or more immiscible liquid and shake it vigorously and keep it standing for some time, it will separate. The layers will be separated, and the lightest one will be collected at the top and the heaviest one will be at the bottom. So by carefully tilting the beaker, it is possible to pour out top layer of the immiscible liquid by opening the stopper. Now let us understand the term solution. The solution is formed when a solute dissolves in solvent. So in water solvent, when salt, solute or sugar as a solute dissolves, it forms a solution. So salt is called soluble, whereas sand does not dissolve in water, so it is called as insoluble substance. When salt dissolves in water, it makes the homogeneous mixture or solution. But certain amount of salt can only be dissolved completely in water. After some time it will remain undissolved and settle down at the bottom of the container. This is termed as solubility, and the solution is called saturated solution. So the saturated solution is the solution when no more solute is dissolved in it. But you will notice when we heat the solution, the salt will disappear. It means solubility of saturated solution can be increased by heating. Now you know that homogeneous mixture has two parts, solute and solvent, right? It can be either solid, liquid or gas. Look at the picture. Does it remind you of any process, natural process? Yes, it is water cycle. So you know what happens when the water bodies or water resources are heated with the sunlight. Yes, the water will get evaporated, means it changes into gaseous form, and it will evaporate and move upward in the sky. This process is also used for extracting salt from the seawater. You can see that how the rectangular compartments are made by the seashore and water gets collected here, and due to the heat of the sunlight, the water will evaporate and the rich source of salt will be collected. Now you can see this is how the condensation takes place. Same thing happens, this evaporated water vapor up in the sky cools down and gets condensed and forms the cloud. This is how the water cycle it takes place in nature. Now water is very precious, and as water dissolves, maximum of the solute in it, whether it is solid, liquid or gas, it is known as universal solvent. Not only this, because it is universal solvent and dissolves maximum substances in it, it is very, very precious, and it is important for existence of life, whether it is plant, animal or human beings on earth. But you know, this quality of water, this nature of water has become harmful also. It can dissolve other impurities. As you can see in the picture here, you can see harmful substances also get dissolved. So it is very important that the water which we drink should be purified. Now water from the different sources such as river, lake are collected. Now you can understand I am going to discuss the purification of drinking water in short, right? Now the water from the different resources are collected in the storage tank, and from the storage tank it is passed on to sedimentation tank. In the sedimentation tank, first the larger particles or solid impurities settle down, then it next passes on to next tank where the alum is added and loading is done to settle down the smaller particle and gets separated. And now the water is passed on through the layer of sand filters where smaller impurities are filtered. Now water is clean enough to drink, but still it is having some smaller impurities, that is germs. Now these germs are killed by adding chlorine in the water. Now it is passed on to overhead water tanks for the supply to our home. Now it is clean enough, do you think? No. We think that still it is getting impure on the way. When it reaches home, we still have to filter it using RO at home. So don't you think we should be very careful when we are using this precious water resources. Without water, life is impossible on Earth. So let us be careful and fight the pollution of water and check that we do not waste it but conserve it and use it sustainably so that it is left for future use for our next generation.